ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up, I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what, told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up.
Hello, Julius Campbell. How you doing today?
What up, Marie Jones? It is wonderful to be back in the year of 2024, and we are talking about ink to ink. What are we talking about, Marie? Ink to ink, our black media.
Our black media.
What's up? It's been a while since we've been here. We definitely talk to me.
How have you been? Happy 2024, everyone. We're coming on. We're so good. It's so good to be back with all things relevant on our black media. It is so good to be back. Me and my co-host, my comrade, my Julius Campbell. We're coming back and we got a great show for you people tonight.
Exactly. What are we doing, first of all? For those of you that are new and haven't been with us for a while, we are Ink to Ink, or Incarceration to Incorporation. And what do? We are providing a platform for men and women who have been incarcerated, but now they are showing their success. And we say success in every area. We're successful educationally. We're successful occupationally. We're successful relationally. I'm just telling you, we're successful and organizationally as well. Listen, we want you to know that you too can make it. That's what this platform is about. We want people to know that we have transitioned. Our reintegration has been wonderful, and we have not been back incarcerated. And that's what we do here at Ink to Ink. And also, Marie and I, we are facilitators and directors of an organization called OAA, which stands for, Marie?
It stands for OAA, stands for Offender Alumni Association, where we come to empower, encourage, and educate one another, because one person cannot do it by themselves. My story can help. My testimony, my trials, my tribulations can help you to know that you can make it, through. And I just want you to know that you can, because Julia and Miko, I call him Miko, but his name is Julius Campbell, and I are here to help, encourage, and empower and educate you.
Your story matters, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Because when you hear our stories and other stories, then you will know, as she just said, you can make it too. So here in 2024, January, we got a wonderful, powerful story for you. We want to talk about something. Maria is going to tell you exactly the title. But before she tells you that, I want to give a shout out to Julius Hall. Definitely want to give a shout out to AB and then our boy Fred as well. These are men that are making it happen. These are men who have something in common. And what is that? We all have been incarcerated. And now we want to share these stories with you. So, Marie, what is the title of tonight's story?
Tonight's story is A Debt Is Never Paid. And when I say a debt is never paid, you know how people say, well, you done went to prison, or you done been to jail, and you done paid your debt to society. But that is far from the truth. A debt, that is a debt that never be paid, because when you go and apply for housing, when you go to apply for a job, and they tell you that you cannot get a job or even have a place to stay because of your background, it is something that has to be done with this situation, with this problem. Julius, I was just saying before we logged in, I was just saying that maybe, I'm not going to say Congress, I know that Congress make the laws, but I'm going to say this, our local officials can put something into play where you can have an attorney, not just to come and give, like, you know how Nancy DeVetta, she give the she say come the expungement clinic, she give those, but I'm talking about having an attorney on so you can actually pay this attorney so she can show you ABC how to get the record expunged and to help pay for those things.
Well, exactly. And Marie, I don't want us to get too far ahead of ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Let us first talk about what this actually means. When we talk about a debt is not paid, she explained to that. But there's also a conference that we have in reference to this, and that is Dr. Bryant, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I know Marie also has a story that she may want to tell, and it doesn't have to be directly with names if she doesn't want to. But we want to tell you why we are having this specific broadcast. I'll start it, and then she will come right on and tell us what's going on in today's society. Is many men and women are coming home from incarceration, no matter how long they did, maybe what a 1 year or 30 years. It doesn't matter. They're coming home from incarceration and they thought that they had did their time. They thought that they were finished, only to realize that that is not the case. They realize when they start trying to look for employment, when they try to go and get housing or insurance or a number of things, that they're recognizing that their debt isn't paid. Even though it was paid to Department of Correction, it was not paid to society. And so we want to tell you a little bit of some of the stories that we have heard as it relates to this, even my very own story. But Maria, again, what is the title, and tell us why this is so important to you.
A debt paid, they say the debt paid is never paid. The debt is never paid. And the reason why I came up with that title was because I was working a job and I was at the job for 9 months, and the job did a background check. And when they did a background check after 9 months of working for this employer, they took and they terminated me. And no matter how good you are, I never had any complaints, always a good worker, on time, and everything. That did not matter. That did not matter. Being dependable, they could depend on me to call me to go take care of my clients. But guess what? It was still not enough, because once the background came back, and this is 20 years now. My background is 20 years old.
Okay.
20 years old. So it does not matter. That's why I say the debt is not paid. The debt is not paid. I went to prison, been to prison, did 18 months, came home, never been back in any trouble. And here it is, trying to take and do what's right. And it's a thing, Julie. It's like you said, people who is trying to come home from prison, do what's right. They done paid their debt to society, so they thought. And guess what? You coming home, you trying to get a job, trying to get an apartment. And that's why recidivism is so high. Because if here it is, I'm coming to get a job and trying to do what's right, and then the door is slammed in my face. Tell me, what do you do? What do you do?
I love stopping right there. You just asked a great question. Tell me, what do you do? Marie just shared with us that this was over 20 years ago that she was incarcerated. Now she's working, and as a result of her past, 20 years ago, she's still being judged. So her future is now being impacted by her past. And it's not because of what per se she has done, but because of what is not being done with the judicial system. And that's what we want to talk about today. Why is this still affecting me? Marie, if I even may be able to share with you, I've been home now for 5 years. I did 26 years in our Georgia prison system. And now I've been home, haven't been in any trouble, got a great job. God has blessed me with marriage, just finished getting my master's degree, all of these great accolades to help my future. But when I begin to look for an apartment or a house, I've been judged because of my past. And there are countless other people who are experiencing the very same thing. I heard a man speak recently on, I believe it was Facebook. He said that there were over 80 million people with record in the United States. 80 million people. And because of those records, he used a term called collateral consequences. What does that mean? As a result of our past being incarcerated, the consequences are collateral. Now our future has been impacted. And that's not right. That's where Marie comes in by saying, when is a debt actually paid? Go ahead, Marie.
That's what I said. I'm actually watching the video right now, Julius, that you're speaking on about the collateral damage.
Right.
He's even talking about some of us can't, even with the background, you can't even go get an education, even though we did it. If Julius, remember, we went to Savannah State about the box, the check box. It doesn't matter. It's so sad that people want to better themselves. They want to go to school, better themselves, to make better decisions. But why is it such a hindrance, Nico? If 20 years ago, people changed. People truly change. And like Julius like to say, he said that, guess what? I may have started off wrong. I did this. I may have started off wrong, but that's not where it ends. That's not where it ends. He came home. Look, I came home. I came home. I went to St. Leo's. I got a bachelor's degree in healthcare management. So it's not that I want to stay and continue into what I was doing. Let me tell you something. Prison and jail is not the way. I did wrong, and I went and I paid my debt. So I thought again. So I told Julius before we came on air, not just saying Congress, because Congress is the one that changed laws, right? If I'm not mistaken, but we need to check our local officials. How about people who have been home and they have shown, because they said that if you've been to prison, offender is to offend within those 3 years. So guess what? If you see that people have been home longer than 3 years, you should do something. The city's officials, our local government should have something to play that they would take and pay for expungements for the citizens.
I agree 100%, Marie. I think too, though, that we have to go speak a little bit louder or abroad, not just congressmen, but our very own community. Congress starts is good, but Congress comes, quote unquote, legislative. They come to the communities, and the community is the one that hires them or votes for them, if you will.
Me, Nico, we're about to take a commercial break.
Oh, by all means, let's pay some bills. Okay. I definitely appreciate it.
That's how I be in the background. I like that music.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Listen, what's up, Savannah? Who are we? We are Ink to Ink, Marie Jones and Julius Campbell. We are talking to you, just having a candid conversation about when is a debt paid, or is a debt ever paid? And we are specifically speaking about those that have been incarcerated and now they're home. They have seemingly paid their debt to society, but when they go and get a job, or when they go to try to find housing, or when they try to find insurance or things of that sort, that's when they recognize or realize that their debt has not been paid. Because of their past, they're being hindered or prosecuted, if you will. Persecuted is a better word for their past in their future. And so Marie was just sharing with us, just for a little brief recap, that she herself was working and doing well. I believe she was even telling me about how she was getting all those praise from her employers or employees, if you will. And then, lo and behold, a background check comes up. And now, because of something that was done over 20 years ago, 20 years ago, she was let go from her position. And so what do you think about that? Is that something that we ought to continue practicing, or is a person's past their past, especially when they have been consistently doing well, when they have been consistently successful, as she has been. So, and she was telling us a little bit about expungement, learning how to go and get your record cleared. Yes, it costs some money, but there are those lawyers that can help expunge your record. Now, the word expunge doesn't automatically mean completely wipe away.
No, it's not.
It hides it from prying eyes from employees, if you will. So, Marie, talk to us.
Yes, it as Julius was saying, it has the expungement. Only person that could see it is like the police department, the police, the FBI, whoever, anything, law enforcement. Can I say that? Can only person can see. You got to give a person a chance, because if you're going to hinder me for me to have employment, then I think that the government should take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just being, and when I say this, Miko, just before I said Congress, that's why I was saying that our city officials, our local government need to have something into play to help people who have been home over more than 3 years, because they say offender offends within the 3 years. So I have been home for 20 years, Miko. So I mean, it should be some kind of help into play. You can take and set up and shouts out to Nancy the Vetter. She set up the expungement clinics, but give a person, it's going to take money. She give you the paperwork, but some people actually need for you to sit there, help them with the paperwork, right? Write out those things that need to be done, because it's a lot of steps to that. Miko, you have to go to since we're in Georgia, I have to go up to the courthouse. You got to go get your paperwork, right? The criminal division of on the 3rd floor. You have to do that. I did all of that. You have to get your the GDIC. You have to go get that. Then you have to go to the DA's office. You have to get that paperwork. And once you get that paperwork, you have to write out everything. You have to be detailed. And see, these lawyers know that any little increment that they don't feel. And can I tell you something, Miko, what I learned? That words mean something in Chatham, in not just Chatham County, and when it contains to the law, words mean something. Even though you may be trying to say, well, I hurt her. She got hurt. Listen, when Destiny got hurt, right? I'm saying she got hurt. I'm telling you, she got hurt. So, and let me say what the people told me. The lady said, she said, oh, so you admitting to you hurting her. I never said I hurt my baby. She got hurt. And no, she said, I should have said it was an accident. So words matter. You have to know how to word these things for these people to look to see that, I apologize. I was wrong. Can you please help me? So if you don't word it right, if you don't write it right, they will not allow you to have an expungement.
Right.
So
and let me interject here to Marie. Listen, what we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage and motivate returning citizens. Those of you that have been home 2 days or 20 years, as Marie has stated, we're trying to encourage you to be proactive by getting your records expunged. Be proactive. Find out if there's a background, on you, even a background check. Find out what it is that can hinder you from getting a successful job, because not everybody wants to remain in low entry jobs. We all want to succeed. We all want to have career jobs, career opportunities. So that's what we're doing. You have 2 people, Marie and myself, right now that are encouraging you, that is trying to move you and motivate you to get that clear, because you don't want to be in a situation, as Marie just stated, working, doing well, and then all of a sudden a background check pops up and now you've lost your livelihood because of something that had been done 20, 30 years ago. So, and disappointment comes, and when disappointment comes, then sometimes that can cause us to make some poor choices. Exactly.
And so, and then too, Miko, like I have children. So what people are saying, I feel like society that's why I feel that the laws should be changed, right? Because you know what I mean? You don't care about my babies, because my money fund having a job, that's how I take care of my children in my house.
Right.
So
I love that.
Yeah, that's how I take care of my children. So that's what, when people re-offend, they're looking at their babies, and they got not just that. Say if you don't have any children, you have to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take care of yourself. So I feel that they should go, and they should go back. And if a person, like I said previous, have been out longer than 3 years, it should be something in play with the local officials. I'm not just talking about in Atlanta and Washington. The local officials, it's things that they can do here in the city of Savannah to get things moving.
Matter
Like
of
you
fact,
said,
let us tell the people why. I love that number you said, 3 years. Let us talk a little bit about those 3 years. First of all, the word is recidivism. What
Yes, sir.
recidivism means is that you, a convicted criminal, he or she reoffends, and they go back to prison. And there is a number, and it is high. I believe it's upwards of 80 to maybe now 90%. That's what they say now. 80 to 90% of those that have been incarcerated are going to return within 3 years. Now, that's what they're saying about us. Now, we can make them a liars. I know Marie and I have already. Marie has been out over 20 years, and I have been out over 5 years now. So we don't have to be a statistic. As a matter of fact, she and I have.
Can y'all please be quiet? I'm on the podcast.
Oh, excuse me. She and I have both broke those statistics. But nevertheless, this is what we want to share with you right now. You don't have to be that one to reoffend. Right. You don't have to be the one to be a statistic. And so there's a law that has been passed, and I'm sorry I didn't do my homework, but I know 3 to 5 years. If you have been out 3 to 5 years with no new conviction, then you can petition to get your background check fixed. And so now that is granted that you don't have probation or parole. That is granted you don't have probation. Right. Marie doesn't have any of that. None. So because she doesn't have any of that, she can try to take care of those things right now. So that's why we were speaking about that number 3. Go ahead, Marie. I'm sorry.
And not just that, Miko. I was telling Apostle yesterday when I spoke with her. And listen, I want to say this is a disclaimer. I'm not knocking anyone for charging what they charge, right? But I feel that if I learn it on my own, then it won't be a fee for me. And I want to learn it so that I can teach other folks, because other people really want to have their name. I think it's that's going to be a beautiful day for me just to have my name cleared.
I like that.
So yes, to have a clear name. That's what I want. I want my name to be cleared. And so a woman, I was telling Apostle how the pardon and parole is papers that she had printed, papers I went over to her house. She gave me the pardon and parole papers to send to the pardon to get a pardon, right, Julius? And so she charged $150 for that, right? But guess what I told Apostle? So I learned, what I did was I went on the pardon and parole on the internet, and I found the paperwork myself. And I printed the paperwork out. And the only thing she did, she didn't write anything for me. The only thing she did was she just notarized it and gave me the paperwork. Now, guess what? The notary across the street from my house charged me $5. And I got the paperwork on my own. So if I learn to go detail by detail, line to line, and learn how to do my expungement, I'm going to teach it to you. I'm going to teach. Me and Julius will have a clinic of our own. Yes, Miko. We're going to have an expungement clinic where it's people, Miko, can I be real? It's people who can't read.
Right.
It's people who can't read who want an expungement. And if I come to your clinic and the only thing you do is give me paperwork, that's still not helping me.
Right.
That is still not helping me. So we need to take and help one another, especially people who have been incarcerated. You know my story. I know your story. So what we have, what's the common denominator? That we've been in prison. We've been in trouble. So I want to help. I want to be a help for real. I want to be a help. And I'm not knocking those who charge, okay? Because I know that people have to eat. So what I'm saying is, but I want to take and be a help because I want somebody to help me.
Right. So right now, what we're getting ready to do, we're going to take, I just want to do a brief recap before we go to this commercial break. Why are we here? We're here because we want to motivate our brothers and sisters, those that have been incarcerated. We want to motivate you to move. We want to help you to go ahead and be proactive before this thing comes up to bite you. We want you to know that you might be steady and stable and established right now. But what if you try to move up? What if you try to increase? What if you try to mature in your career, and then all of a sudden something hits you like a background check, and now they're hindering you from access? Whether it's access to a base, access to a party, access to whatever it may be, because again, of something that was done many, many years ago. We want you to check into that so you are not blindsided. And when we come back from this break, we're going to come to an end and talk about community. We've already talked about Congress. Now we want to talk about community and what you can do to help. Let us go and pay some bills with this commercial.
Hey.
I like it. Don't you like that music, Dave?
I do. I like that's that good elevator music.
Exactly. Hey, what's up, Savannah? Listen, it's your boy Julius Campbell and Marie Jones, Ain't to Ain't, or Incarceration to Incorporation. Why are we here? We're here to talk to you about when is a debt paid. Marie shared a few moments ago some serious experience that just took place in her life about her past, how her past was catching up to hinder her future. And as a result of that, we want to come to you to make sure that you don't get hit the same way. And we don't want to leave it like that, Marie, because I want you to tell us the praise report of what has happened. Don't go into too much details and using names and things like that.
I'm not.
I definitely want you to encourage the people, because we don't want to leave them thinking, man, it's hopeless. If I mess up, then how will I then succeed? So before we close, we are definitely going to give that story. But I want to share something for a moment, Marie. When I came home, I didn't have a lot of problems as a lot of our returning citizens have, because I have those 4 staple things that's necessary to success. That number 1, stable housing. Number 2, gainful employment. Number 3, community support. And number 4, especially number 4, family support, stable environment. Because I had those things, my reintegration process was pretty much smooth. But for many of you, it hasn't been that way because you don't have those 4 staple things. But even though mine was a smooth transition, when I got ready to go and look for an apartment, I found there were a lot of hurdles, a lot of obstacles, and they all had to do with background checks. They all had to do with my past. And that bothered me, that discouraged me. If it's discouraged me, and I'm sure Marie, how many more of our brothers and sisters is it discouraging? And many of them may not have the fortitude that you and I have, Marie, not to go back, but to stand strong. But nevertheless, as I went out trying to find an apartment, I went from place to place. And do you know that now the application for gaining a house or an apartment is upwards of $75 to $125 per application? Who has that type of money, especially when you are trying to find you a job? And so I went from one place to the other, spending that type of money. Now, it would be helpful if we got that money back when we were denied because of our background.
Exactly.
That does not happen. That is not the case. And so I want you, community, that's where we're going at. I want you to understand the pressure. I want you to understand what is going on in the life of those that are reintegrating back into society. Background checks hurt. It hinders employment opportunity. It hurt and hinders housing opportunity. Even Marie was telling me, what else did you say that it hurt?
Even life insurance.
Life insurance. Now, that
Yeah.
was new to me right there. Life insurance is hindered. We all need life insurance. So, community, you have to hear this so that when congressmen come back to your church and your neighborhood trying to solicit your vote, you need to begin to ask them questions like this. What can we do to turn this thing around? We all
Exactly.
need it. And so, but for myself, I wasn't able to get an apartment. My wife did. Thank God for that. My wife was the one that was able to get the apartment, but I'm getting ready to try to find me a house now. What is going to happen? Am I going to go through the same struggle, the same obstacle, the same turmoil? What about you?
But
Community. Will you come together and help us? Go ahead, Marie.
you know what, Miko? You know that while you were talking about, you say you about to get ready to buy your home, and would that hinder you from buying your home? I want to know what going to prison have to do with me getting life insurance, with me going to prison have to do with even me having a place to lay my head.
Mm.
So what I feel like when they wrote the laws, they really didn't think.
Or
Go ahead.
they did think, but they knew the target audience that would be getting locked up. And that was just another mechanism to keep people down.
See, you know what? Julius is real kind with his words. But let me say this. It was a target audience of black and brown people. You understand? Julius, I'm telling y'all something, he's humble. That's why they call him Brother Joy. You understand? But I'm just saying, it's sitting and that's ridiculous. I think I think you know what, Miko, we should have something that can be part of OAA, and maybe you can get with Coco and we can help, and we can have something at 8011 Waters Avenue about bringing the community together to let them hear. When I say bring local officials, we can have local officials, local commissioner people there that can hit us. I know that you said we're not running behind nobody, but Miko, they really need to hear this. They need to hear this so that they can put, and maybe Governor Kemp can come and he can listen and hear that things have to be changed. Because or is it like that because they have it in play to have the prisons with black and brown people?
Well, I don't know the answer to that question, but I do like what you say. It is up to us, the community, to come together and be educated. If you don't know anything about this, that is simply called ignorance. Many of us didn't know, but willful ignorance is the problem. Now that you're hearing about it, we need to find out. Community leaders, especially church leaders as well, we need to come together and find out what can we do to ensure that when a debt is paid, it really is paid.
It really is paid. That would be so good. But go ahead, Julius, what you were saying.
Well, as we get ready to turn this corner and end, what I want you to do is I want you to briefly share the positive praise report out of this, despite the hindrance or the obstacles 20 years ago that you were incarcerated, and now how it has caused you to lose employment. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Well, maybe it was a setup for me to lose so I can gain. So I'm gonna say this. One of the families who I took care of, they said that they were going to help me. So the husband, who is an owner, he know about my background, and he told me I didn't have to worry about anything, and he gave me a job.
Oh my goodness. And why did we want that to be broadcast? Because you have a business owner who has forgiven the debt.
That's right.
So if a business owner can forgive a debt, why can't our government? Why can't our society? And so shouts out to those. We don't talk about everybody. There are those individuals who look at life differently. Those individuals who have forgiven, who recognize, this is what we call it, they are now felon friendly. Why is that the case? Because they're called second chance hiring. That is, matter of fact, in April, that's coming up, that is a specific month that's been set aside to celebrate those employers who are hiring returning citizens. It's called, again, Second Chance Hiring. And this is something that this young man has did. And if he can do it, many in our society can do it as well.
Right.
He recognizes that you have paid your debt to society.
That's right. I like that, Miko. A second chance. And everybody is entitled to a second chance, because some and a majority of a lot of us has changed. I'm telling you, as Julius like to say, we may have started off wrong, but we have finished strong. How have we finished strong? Look at Julius. He's married. He have a good job. He is an elder in the church. He has a master's degree.
Bless the Lord.
I think that's all right there now.
That's all right there now. That's all right. So listen, Savannah, me and Marie get ready to go, but I want to give her an opportunity to say some farewells before I come behind her and close this thing down for today. Marie?
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who have been listening, and especially those that are incarcerated right now, get ready to prepare yourself. The doors of the prison will be open. So I hope that you are prepared to take and to do whatever it is to not reoffend, to not go back to prison. And I pray that society will give you a second chance. I pray that you will take and get into get into school. If you want to go back to school, get back into school. Miko got a master's degree. Lord, he's been going to school for a long time. Miko got a master's degree. So I just hope that you take and do what it is that you have to do for yourself to be better.
Listen, Savannah. Thank you for this opportunity. Every Friday, we come before you and we want to move you to missions. We want to motivate you to do something. Our brothers and sisters that are coming back home, listen, we made it. You can make it too. Your story is important, and we definitely want to hear your story. So get in touch with myself, Julius Campbell, or Marie Jones, and we want you to let us know that we can share your story, because your story matters. Listen, have a wonderful weekend. We thank you, and we'll see you again next Friday. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Miko.
Good night, man.
I like that.